right, again, we are back. Welcome back to episode 24, I think it is.
Something.
It don't even matter. We gonna get it popping. Let's get to it. Listen. This is the home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I'm just telling y'all right now, we got some heat in this episode. We talking about week 4, upcoming matchup. Miami Dolphins is gonna be lit. The name of this episode is Rumble in the Park. Let's get to it, my man. What do we got?
We got fishes coming to Buffalo.
We got fishes.
We got the fishes.
He went straight to the fishies coming to Buffalo. All right, check it out. Let's do the lead-in.
Well, that wasn't it? Oh, my bad.
Welcome to the Post Podium Podcast. All right, let me say this.
I did it again.
Listen, there is actually a very high chance, and I'm laughing because of what just happened. I'm not laughing because of what I'm saying. There is actually a really good chance that the Bills could have another blowout in the win column on Sunday. Okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly how that can be.
I liked how you laid it off. I love how you laid it off. Good job.
All right, so
but you are Aramis.
I am. I'm the co-host Aramis.
And I beats Keyshawn.
And he beats Keyshawn.
All right,
let's
get to it, man. Hey. What you hear? What I hear? I heard Tyreek Hill in an article say about the Bills Mafia, it's just another fan base. I mean, does it matter? Is it really a valid shot fired?
He gonna learn on Sunday.
But to be fair, I mean, there was an article written in 2023, Bills Mafia get loud because we didn't make the top 10. We didn't make the top 10 loudest stadium.
Wow.
So there is some merit to it. So even though it's Tyreek Hill, even though we know how we feel about him, we got to get loud. We got to get raucous out there.
You know what it is. I think people be so drunk they think they be yelling loud.
They do.
But alcohol relaxes you, so they might be thinking they screaming, but they. You
been that relaxed social. Fun fact: did I show you the picture of the two people I saw that were sitting in front of me?
No.
Were asleep through the first half of the game.
For real?
Oh man, knocked. Didn't move. Knocked. Guys, stop doing that. You know how much these tickets cost?
Right.
You got to watch the product.
Listen,
and it was a Miami game last year, too.
Ain't none of that going down in the new stadium. You know why? Because the tickets going to cost way too damn much.
People be drinking espressos, cappuccinos.
I need to see all of this.
It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be pounding a cold brew. Oh, it's going down.
Oh man! See a bunch of black cups everywhere with straws sitting out.
Oh man! Yeah, with ascots, with little cardigan sweaters, turtlenecks.
Oh my gosh! Oh, you getting
like the LeBron James night of third grade school picture. But anyway,
going heavy. My man going heavy. All right.
I'm having fun today, man.
With it.
I'm having fun. It's Thursday. Oh, you guys gonna see us on Friday? Oh, this is something else. But can we agree now? What do we learn from Singletary and Edmonds? What have we learned? You guys cannot attach yourself. Exactly. You can't attach yourself to people that may be here later, may not.
Right.
Because everybody thought Edmonds is gone. We're screwed. Of course, I was worried too because we didn't get to see Terrell Bernard. But look at the product.
Speaks for itself.
James Cook. We're lost without Singletary's 8 carries a game and 6 yards per carry. James Cook enters the ball game. What does he do? 2 games, almost 100. Well, one was 100 yards. The other one was 2 yards off.
Right.
15 carries. Singletary wasn't carrying 15 times. That's sustained.
Nah. This
guy is on pace to shatter people's expectations for even just carries in the season, not let alone touches.
Yeah. I mean, my cynical side wants to point to that and say, okay, well, contract-wise, it's kind of they're stuck doing that because they know next year they ain't going to be able to afford, they probably can't afford Harris's contract next year, let alone Murray's. So, I mean, we'll see.
Murray, I wonder what Murray's thinking if this is his last hurrah. I'm wondering. I mean, Harris, we'll see. But, I mean, at some point, they got to learn how to draft something somewhere.
Right. I think if Murray wanted to come back for vet men next year.
Yeah, that'd be what he's looking at. I mean, he's at home. He's from, I think, Syracuse-ish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a local guy. Buffalo was his childhood team. So,
okay.
So I'm not saying he's going to take a home. Guys, also, stop with the home discount. Stop with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys, if you're talking about going to the Broncos for $10 million versus the Bills for $8 million, they're going to go to the Bills. But if you're talking about going to the Broncos for $23 million and the Bills going for $7 million, guess where they're going?
Exactly.
Let's ask my man, what's his name? DeAndre Hopkins.
Man, rather go to Tennessee.
He's over in Tennessee living it up.
They what? They 0-3 or 1-2?
I think 0-3.
And Tannehill is trash this year. I don't know what. Listen, this is the other. Can I just say this real quick? For those of you who are watching what's going on with the Chicago Bears, I'm a challenge people. I don't bet money.
We bet wings though.
Yeah,
but not you guys. There's too many of y'all.
I don't know. You might agree with me on this though.
No, I'm not gonna bet you. I'm just letting them know we ain't owing you wing. Maybe one wing, pass it around. But anyway,
we'll mail it to you.
Right. A greasy envelope with a wing in
it. Reach in the mailbox. What the hell?
Is this ranch? Oh.
But I mean, at least it was a hot wing with the ranch.
With the ranch, yeah.
Or blue cheese, whatever you prefer. You can.
I don't dip, y'all. I don't have time to dip. But anyway,
so I'm willing to bet some wings that the quarterback of the Bears right now has an opportunity to move to the Atlanta Falcons next year. I think if they are looking to trade him, I think the Falcons might step up and be one of those guys. And that's because I think the Falcons did win a game.
Yeah, they're not going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
They're not going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. Now, when we're thinking about Justin Fields' best fits, the offense in Atlanta, Arthur Smith running that offense. He's the guy who turned Ryan Tannehill into a Pro Bowl level QB.
In Miami or?
In Tennessee.
Oh, in Tennessee? Okay.
Right? He's the guy who turned him into a Pro Bowl level QB in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And at one point, people put them in the top 3 tiers of AFC teams.
Yep.
Right? This is before the Bengals, became who they were, right? Yep. So Arthur Smith can definitely take a guy like Justin Fields and turn him into a viable star in Atlanta with that run game, with the tight end that he's got, with the receivers that he will have. I mean, Drake London really hasn't done much, but I think part of that is
I got him on a fantasy team. I don't know why I do it every time.
On one of my teams too.
Yeah, it's so promising, but it's not worth it.
Right. But I think, I'm willing to bet wings on that. So I don't know if anybody, wants to make a bet on that in their own time, not with me, but somewhere else. But I'm willing to bet some wings that ends up happening.
My per diem doesn't allow for that.
But
that was a butt. It was a mighty butt.
Let's get through this stuff we heard, because I want to get to pressers. I want to get to pregame stuff. I want to get to.
Hey, listen. This week I went the extra mile. I wanted to impress you.
Okay.
You know what I did?
What?
Listen to Miami pressers too.
Okay. I'm ready. I am ready. Let's go. I'm burning this week.
You know what?
This week is on and popping right now.
It is. And you know what? I usually don't skip around like this, but I just want to go to Mike McDaniel, his press conference. I mean, I just want to. Can I just play a little bit for you guys? Would I be allowed to play a little bit for you guys? Thank you. I mean, when I tell you this is the coach of coaches.
Information back. We'll apply that.
Hold on. Let me cue it back up. I don't want to give y'all too much.
Pause it real quick.
Yeah, let's make
okay. Let me see this.
You can play the beginning real quick.
As we gain information back, we'll apply that information moving forward. But they will not practice today.
Where does Jalen Waddle sit?
He will practice today. He'll have a full practice, and then which will, upon the results of that, will officially or unofficially clear him from the protocol.
Mike, does revenge have a place in Sunday's game, or is revenge just something that you don't buy into in the NFL?
Watching the words come up and that you're saying, and now that I'm saying into this phone, it's tripping me out. Sorry. I think.
I'm gonna stop it right there. I don't want to embarrass. What just happened?
Yo, it sounded like somebody was sticking their finger in a cup of water and just switching it around real quick. Like Drake was in the club and
he just yeah. Anyway, but then, so the point I'm getting at, this is a 40-year-old coach. This is everybody that's tired of McDermott. You can have this. Which it gets better. Watch this. Now I'm gonna play you just one more clip if I'm allowed. Just one more piece.
Listen,
this is hilarious to me.
Let's do it.
offensive perspective, how do you counter that without listing?
Relying on, depend on, very good at it, and that's a great way to win a lot of football games, which they've done doing that.
Right here.
If to follow up, then from a quarterback and an offensive perspective, how do you counter that without listing the exact game plan? How do you counter it?
Well, I made an important point to the quarterbacks today, specifically to attempt to not throw it to them as best you can. No, it is a group effort. It's not just on Tua. It's literally the entire offense. Because
all right, I'm gonna stop it right there.
Wait, to not throw it to who?
The Bills.
Oh, don't throw it to the Bills.
Yeah, they said. So how are you gonna game plan or whatever? He's like, well, I made a very important point to Tua to not throw the ball to them as best as possible.
Oh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. You put that in your QB's head going into this game with this much stank on it.
Dude, he gets paid millions of dollars to
No, that makes a difference. That makes a difference. You got your quarterback going into the game mentally tight, thinking in his head, my coach don't want me to throw this to them.
Well, I know, but I'm thinking about how he was in high school. We're the same age as this guy. So when we were juniors, he was a senior.
Right.
We were freshmen. Everybody can relate to a dude that's 40 years old like this guy.
Okay.
Where's the professionalism? He got sidetracked by a phone that's got the transcript going in his face.
Hey,
like the thing is, this is beautiful because the reason why I laughed at it was because McDermott says I got to watch the tape. He says I'm gonna keep it in house. He says this dude just ignores the question that answers whatever you didn't ask. It's beautiful.
Mike McDaniel is nerd prime.
Yes, he is.
He's Coach Nerd Prime.
Yes, he is.
Like,
he really is.
You ain't see the gold watch he had on? He was rocking that thing
yeah.
like it was just like every day. Like, he's had it out there chilling. All gold watch just sitting there chilling. Big old face too, right? Sweatshirt sleeve pulled halfway up his arm, like just chilling. Like he don't care what none of them people out there's questions is about.
He don't care.
Right? In his mind, he taking the league by storm right now.
Right.
2 years in running, he taking the league by storm. So if I'm him, I'm like, yo, I can't do no wrong right now. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I'm okay with the awkwardness. I enjoy how different it is from the stuffy.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm going at. I mean, it was a breath of fresh air. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny because it's just like he just got sidetracked. He just was like
looking at his phone.
He's like
the words that are coming up on my phone here.
Wow.
What?
Hold on a second. I'm watching what I'm going to say next. Wait. But no. Now, the reason why I got down to the Miami rabbit hole is because I was listening, obviously, to Bill's pressers as always, and Josh Allen's presser, he goes through, they asked him.
He's very generic.
He's getting there. He's getting to that point where he's a franchise quarterback. He gives you what you need, but nothing.
He'll give you a quote, but the quote don't mean nothing.
Right. I mean, they asked him, do you know what this game means for the area and organization? Honestly, for me, I don't really need Josh to know what the game means to the area. I don't really care. I mean, my thing is,
I agree with you from the standpoint of like we don't want him trying to put that on his shoulders to go out there and win it for the city.
Right.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, I mean, it's week 4 because what he said, I know it means a lot for the fans. There's fans and ours, but it doesn't mean anything for us. This is the biggest game because the next one against a team playing at a high level is week 4.
Right.
That's the attitude that you need to have. That's winning football. See, that's not the attitude the Bills fans are accustomed to. Bills fans want to hear, we're one. They're one with us. They relate. I don't need them to relate. I need them to win football games.
Right.
At this point in time, $258 million that I don't have, go win a game.
Yeah.
Go do your job. I don't care how you do it. Just do it.
Josh, up till week 1 of this year, Josh has given us, I'm one of you. Yes. I'm going to go out there and rage against all the teams that you hate. I'm going to act like I hate them too, and I'm trying to beat them all by 50.
Right.
That's the way he's played. He's played like he wants to just go and destroy the world for these fans. And, while it is, admirable, I mean,
yeah, especially when you're young, but now you're getting ready to flip over to the next level, and it does seem like whatever happened with Diggs and McDermott and that, something happened. Something happened because something changed. We can see it. Even from week 1, the debacle it was week 1, we saw a difference of some sort. Somebody follows up. How important is the victory this week? Again, it's week 4. Another challenge for us. You know I like these media members. These media members, man, boy. Whew.
We gotta try to see if we can get something out of them.
I know. Do you like to kind of fly under the radar a little bit? Yeah, we don't really focus on the external factors or what other people are saying. We want to get better as a unit every day. Good practice today. We very detail oriented. And they asked about Osiris Torrance. He said he's getting better. He's been awesome. He's proven himself. Now, this was the funny one.
Okay.
They asked him about Christian Wilkins. And he was like, he said, yeah. He said, I like a guy you can chirp against, but you show respect. He said, it's an emotional game. Competition is why we play. He said, now, us being tight and all that, I don't know about that. He said, we don't talk outside the field and all that stuff. But see, when he said that took me over to the Miami Christian. Well, I said, what did Wilkins say? So, of course, me being me, Wilkins, his quote was, somebody asked about, are you looking forward to facing Josh Allen again? He said, that's my guy. I love Josh. We're cool and we're tight, but no, he's a heck of a competitor, and his resume speaks for itself. And see, I can't read him because he didn't really, he smiled before he said it, but he's something else.
I'm going to tell you what Josh was thinking, and I'm going to tell you what Wilkins was thinking in these press conferences. Josh was thinking, because Josh even smiled and played along with it. He's like, yeah, we tight.
Yeah.
Like, but Josh is secretly thinking in his mind and saying on that microphone, but if he squeezes my groin one more time,
we tight, all right.
Kill him.
We tight like his grip.
Right. And Wilkins in his mind thinking, I'm gonna squeeze his groin every time every chance I get. Every pile up, every time we get him down, I'm squeezing that groin all game long.
He can be like,
right. I'm trying to uppercut that joint. I'm trying to all day, all game long.
Josh, double strap up, man. Anyway,
right, you got your cup on. You ain't got to worry about that, bro. Just saying.
They asked him about the smack talk if it ramps up against the Bills. He said, that's all speculation. You have no proof that I do that. It's all hearsay. If there's an opponent, we will be ready to go. And this is why I said I couldn't read him, because he didn't smile when he said it. He was just like stood there and they're like laughing. I'm like, y'all know him better than me, but is he serious or what's going on here?
Oh yeah, you can't prove it.
Can't prove it. Then I moved on to Tua. Tua said our defense is a challenge because the safeties don't need to talk. They have been together long enough to know exactly what they're going to do without even talking. Now this was a tidbit, and I'm mad that I didn't. Well, I always call it a small win when I see something and I write it down before I see it said somewhere else. Tua credits our defense as Taron Johnson being the catalyst. He named him Taron Johnson. He said he's a great player and he makes their nickel work. So in other words, I think Taron Johnson actually rang a couple bells in the run game against them in years past. So Taron Johnson is physical. You guys, he's fast, and that's the thing too. People forget how fast he is.
Yeah,
he's fast as ever. And I even forgot until probably on the drive in here. He said the Bills' defense is straightforward. They line up and do what they're going to do. And they say, here, play some football. He said sometimes you don't know what they're going to do, but they're just fundamentally sound. And he went on to talk about snap points and how they use their motions. I'm not going to worry about that. He said,
for the Bills he was talking about?
What's that? For the
different snap points and all that?
No. Okay, basically what he was talking about was their motion. So, you know how Tyreek...
Dolphins' motions?
Yeah, how Tyreek goes off, and he said... based on the plays, they snapped the ball a different, because evidently this is really high tech crap they doing over there. Mm-hmm. Because not only are they one reading and doing all this other stuff,
but
now
they have motions with it.
They got motions, but they have certain snaps based on what motion he calls. They got different motions for every play.
Right.
I'm like, I don't even want to know what your playbook looks like. It's probably simple, but hard as crap.
The routes are actually very simple, but
it's the stuff they do before the routes. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, I'm not going to bore you too much with Tua, but he asked him about going to Orchard Park. He said, it's very hostile in Orchard Park. He said, when I was there, guys were throwing some packed snowballs. Those things hurt. I was the snowball game.
Oh, that's right.
He said he got hit with it. He said, them things hurt. I was crying. Then he said, they asked him about the no-look shovel pass, a chain.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I ain't practicing. I never thought of throwing it with my right. He said, in touchdowns, 2 left, 2 rights, has ever been done in the NFL? And he laughed about it. He said, I don't know if I'm really a lefty, if I'm really right. He said, because he does certain things with his left. He does these things with his right. He kicks with his right foot, but he does that with so he said so he's like, maybe it's all a lie. You guys tell me. And that was it. But
producer's the same way.
Yeah. So he said he writes with his left, but
you can shoot with both hands. Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying, look,
a basketball. He can shoot a basketball with both hands. Yes. You never know who's watching.
You right.
You never.
You right.
You can shoot a basketball with both hands.
Basketball with both hands. Yep.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Don't you test my boy.
Don't you take
my boy from me. Okay, he can play all sports. See, there you go. That's what we were talking about. We were relating your skill set with Tua's skill set.
Who's a little older than you. Y'all about the same age. Good on you. Huh? Okay. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and.
So the next thing that we're talking about.
Let's see. I think actually if I go to McDermott, we'll breeze through that and we'll be into whatever we want to talk about.
Nice.
McDermott said the defensive line is a catalyst for playing good defense, which is okay. We know you spend all your money on it, so you better be the catalyst. The challenge this week is that the ball comes out so fast. The scout team is going to have to go fast just to attempt to simulate the speed.
Yeah.
And I forgot we had Isabella.
I mean, one guy is cool. He can simulate Tyreek Hill out on the field.
Yeah. Maybe. And then what you can do is you could use Deontay Hardy, but line him up 5 yards behind the cornerback,
and he'll be Mostert.
And he could be Waddle if Waddle's. I don't know if Waddle's playing or not, but
he should be.
Is he in concussion protocol? Is that him or is that somebody else? I'll look at it.
That might have been somebody else.
I got it. I just didn't look at it, so it's all good. We'll get past that.
Okay.
You know what? Screw it. I don't even care. You might be watching.
Do it.
Dumb media moment of the week.
Do it.
The challenge this week. No, I'm sorry. Dumb media moment of the week. What are the points of emphasis for your defense when you're facing an offense like this? McDermott then says, well, why don't we just go through the whole game plan? He chuckled something. He looks down at the he's like, you guys are awesome. So that tells me what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks is validated. These guys are hacks. These guys are, what are you? These guys are dumb. Right? like, who hired these fools? So you see what I wrote in my notes with the capital letters. See, I'm not the only one recognizing dumb head questions.
Dumb head questions.
I want to say the other end, but I'm not going to because I like to keep it as a family show. Yeah. He said, like I said, they like to take advantage and can exploit you in a run and pass. We have to stay disciplined in gaps and tackling, which is true. Yeah. Eye discipline, which is another thing that goes in. I think that's another one of the McDermottisms, the McBows. Matter of fact, that's a McBow of the week. We'll do that. The McBow of the week.
We haven't seen any Bean Bowls at all this season. Have we seen any Bean Bowls?
No, that's off season.
That's off season. He only comes out in the off season. That's a very lonely office he's got.
It is. Him and Jim Overdorf are trying to figure out the salary cap.
Please, can we come out? Please.
No, they're trying to figure out the salary cap. That's what they're doing.
For you. We'll get you information.
Because what I say? Okay, if we get rid of this here, we can get back to 0, and then we can cut these other guys. We can get draft pick. Okay, all right, I got it. That's all they're talking about right now in that office. Yep. Because they're forget it.
It's all cuts. It's all
cuts. Like the end of that Simpsons episode where Homer was the football coach, the little league football coach.
Cut.
Oh, that's a lot of cuts right there.
You're all cut.
Oh, you're still here. You're cut. Let's see. Is there anything you can do to buy time? McDermott says call timeout. I don't think we get 3 of those though. So at this point,
he had enough. He had nicely. He had enough.
I have to, respectfully, of course.
Right. Dang, Sean.
He's losing his cool. He's got no more. Wide receiver room they have is tough to handle. Sherfield actually, and this is me. Sherfield can probably lend a hand in some of their wide receiver philosophy because obviously he was a contributor of some sort to their offense last year. So it's not like he's just that guy that we talked about where they pick somebody just for no reason just to pick their brain. And McDermott was like me. He said he gave Bernard his praise, but he also said it's only been 3 games. Basically, he's saying pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. You know, he might be good. And he said, he alluded, he might be good.
Was he saying that after Milano?
I don't know what he did after Milano. I have no idea.
I got to go back and look at that.
Yeah, I don't know what he said after Milano. But, I mean, he said, but the thing is, Milano didn't have that meteoric rise like Bernard has in the first 3 games either. I mean,
no, it's his year 1 for Milano was.
You know what? I got all these subscriptions. Let's look it up while you're talking. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull one of these handy dandy boys up.
Yeah, let's see what his first year stats were through 3 games, if we could, while our
you can knock stuff off the table with your right hand too. I see.
Right.
That's what's up.
Ambidextrous in every sense of the word.
Ambidextrous
So Milano. I think a lot of people were nervous about the converted safety.
That'd be me.
Standpoint, yeah, just because he was a smaller guy, and before, like, up to this point, we hadn't seen those kind of linebackers here in Buffalo. We always had the stalwart, run stuffing, bigger, beefier, slower linebacker. And I think we kind of got spoiled with guys like, Jeff Posey and Takeo Spikes and London Fletcher.
That was a heck of a back 3.
Yeah, I mean, seeing those guys run around at the size that they were with the speed that they had and them both, being able to, cover good enough and great against the run. Now, mind you, back in that era, the passing game and the rules weren't what they are now, so obviously it was a little different for them. But solely from the standpoint of looking at Milano's speed, his size, and with him being a converted safety, people were worried about, okay, well, how's he going to do against the run? How's he going to do, taking on blocks and blah, blah, blah. A lot of the same stuff that we were talking about with Bernard. And
5th round draft pick, 163rd selection. He finished the year, his rookie year, with 32 total tackles, 11 assisted. So 43 tackles, 8 missed tackles, 86.2 passer ratings, no sacks, no forced fumbles. So that's the thing. You look at, he had 2 sacks, an interception, and fumble recovery. So basically, in one game, he pretty much did.
Outdid Milano in his first year. Yeah.
So. Obviously, and then you compound that with winning the defensive player of the week.
Now, if I'm a Milano fan, I'm saying, okay, all right, let's take a step back, because Bernard is playing with a much better defense than Milano was playing with back then, in terms of all the skill position players around him, pass rushers, corners, safeties.
I don't remember that team. That was Jerry Hughes. That was
right.
Who else was? You know what? Why don't we do? Keep talking, because now you taking me down. But no, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So, I think at that point we were still on. Trey White was here. Deion Dawkins.
That was the same year.
Yep. Deion Dawkins was here. Who else? Who do we have in middle linebacker?
That's what we're gonna find out in just a moment. Let's see. Okay, Tyrod. Oh no, we're going defense. Shaq Lawson. Kyle Williams, Adolphus Washington.
Adolphus Washington, wow.
Jerry Hughes, Lorenzo Alexander, which I wasn't. I was never a fan of. I was never a fan.
He was a playmaker.
I think he was a playmaker, but I think he was also another one of those Bills legends. I think that's kind of what it was. See, with me, a lot of times I get turned off when people get turned on by things that people are supposed to be doing. To me,
right?
That's how I work. And so when you guys, as we go on, you're gonna hear me say, you're like, yo, what's he talking about? Yeah. When people overhype stuff, he was a good player. We needed that. He had a double-digit sack season and all that stuff. But now you're talking about like a Fred Jackson or a Kyle. Another team, another situation. Would they have really garnered that respect? Right. And that's the thing with Buffalo. We, like I said when I opened the show, Devin Singletary and Tremaine Edmonds.
That's like building one of those car slot machines in Amishville somewhere in Ohio.
Yeah.
They looking at that thing like, yo, this is the best thing ever.
It go backwards and forwards?
Right.
Wow.
Right. So, I think for Bills fans, there's certain types of players and there's certain, levels of player that, we haven't had access to being here in little old Buffalo. Yeah. I kind of hate saying it that way, but I lived in Lockport for almost 2 years. And Lockport at the time when I lived there, compared to Buffalo and the city of Buffalo, was like it was like a small town in West Bumpkinville. Like there was nothing out there. The mall had no stores.
I know.
They ain't have excuse me, they ain't have no baggy jeans and nothing out
Right.
there. They ain't had no Jordans and nothing out there. Like I felt like I couldn't live. Like, yo, what am I supposed to wear? Where am I supposed to go?
So you the reason why the culture changed over there. Okay.
The only movie theater they had out there was a drive-in, bro.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's still there.
And the other one they
Somehow.
had didn't get new movies.
No.
Right? So my point in saying all that is, you know, I've seen what it's like to be in a place that's smaller than Buffalo and then come to Buffalo and feel like I'm, you know, somewhere bigger, right? And I've also seen what it's like to be in cities bigger than Buffalo and then come back to Buffalo. So I can say, in all honesty, I think, you know, the love of these players that you're talking about is solely because we haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, looking at the defense that we had, Preston Brown was the middle linebacker at the time. Ramon Humber was the other.
I hated both of them.
Well, Preston Brown's another one. Preston Brown's another one of those Tremaine Edmonds. We can't live without Preston Brown.
Right.
And then next year we got Tremaine. Oh, forget Preston Brown, we got Tremaine. You know, but you gotta understand. Sometimes it's time to go. And let me do this because I don't want that situation to happen again.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
It probably did, but that's okay. We fixed it. But yeah, I mean,
That boy's smart. That boy's smart.
EJ Gaines, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, and Tre'Davious White.
Part-time EJ Gaines, huh?
EJ Gaines, yeah, the one that never.
Oh no!
did anything.
This was 2017. That was full-time EJ Gaines. We liked him.
Was he ever full time?
Yeah.
Really? Wait a minute.
2017. He was full-time EJ Gaines. We loved
he got
him.
hurt that year too.
He got hurt.
Lord Jesus.
He got hurt, but he was full-time EJ.
Okay. All right. Okay. I ain't mad at it then. Well, yes, I am.
Yeah, game log.
I'm still mad at
See
it.
where we at.
Do it.
You smart,
There
but
we
he's
go.
slow with his hands.
All right.
All right. Let's see. Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
Game started. It don't say he started.
He missed game number. I don't know.
He missed 5 games. 5 games.
5 games. Okay, so he played 11 games.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
all right, well,
he was full-time EJ.
he was full time EJ evidently. Yeah, 11 games right there. Wow, we had to do the math in our head when it was right in front of my face. But anyway, I go back. I digress. Yeah, so we knocked out the press conferences pretty fast. Actually, you know what? I forgot one thing about Josh. I don't know how to feel about Josh. He puts hot sauce in his Pepsi.
What?
He says not bad.
I did hear them mention that.
Yeah,
but
he said it's not bad. I don't know what that's about, but
the
if
face he
puts
made
that,
was like he didn't want nobody to know about that.
right.
Or something.
It's not bad. A psychopath. Anybody puts hot sauce in your Pepsi, I don't want to sit next to you on the Metro bus.
Not only does this man listen to Sinatra before a game and then like to calm down and then come out and do the opposite of calming down.
Then puke and then
right. Puke and then to go out and lose his mind on the field. But the dude puts hot sauce in his Pepsi?
evidently I'm not do that.
Like did he get a college life?
Did
he have an opportunity to do stupid stuff in college?
I think that's where that came from.
That you're right.
He gonna
You're
try
right.
that 31.
He
ain't
might
gonna
have
get
had
the
too
game.
much of an opportunity to do
you gonna see him
stupid stuff
running
in
off the
college.
field and use the 31, 32 trying that nonsense. But you know, and he said something, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about pressers, I believe, because I think we've exhausted everything. He said Latavius Murray, where am I from? Brooklyn? Latavius Murray told Josh their job is to get their shirts dirty and keep yours clean. We got you. What he was saying, that was in response to somebody asking about Latavius Murray's touchdowns. And so it seems to me that the emphasis this year is on keeping Josh from doing a lot of the Josh things that he's been doing in the past, which is scrambling, getting headshotted, getting gripped up, in the groin, you know, all sorts of things.
Squeezed up in the groin.
Right, get squeezed up. Yeah.
Don't come for us, Wilkins. Don't come for us, Christian, please. Just understand this is what you've done.
Hey.
It's already recorded.
Hey, I mean, don't do it if you don't want to own up to it.
Exactly.
I would love to be mentioned by Christian Wilkins in a tweet. That would be, you know what that would do to our show? Yo, that would be crazy.
Christian, What you gonna say, man?
Don't at me, bro.
We got
at me, bro.
We gotta start antagonizing. Put us in your comments, your mentions, whatever.
Tag me. No.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. So that's all I had for stuff we heard and the presser. So we're good there.
right.
Terrell Bernard, he spoke a little bit, but you know, I don't know. I mean, it's not really what we're talking about. It was cool. He got his 5 minutes as defensive player of the year. Got a little press conference. It was
The
a nice little.
week. You mean the week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm speaking into existence. I'm from the future.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna
That
have a
explains
crazy
whole
day.
heck of a lot, Lord.
Hmm?
What?
Christian responded.
He did. Yeah. Yes, actually, he did. Let me tell you what he said.
Is it the one from Miami or the one from?
He said we need to get to the Miami pregame.
Okay. So that's the one from Rother. Okay. So the pregame is going to be played obviously in Orchard Park at Highmark Stadium, and just going into as I spoke earlier about injuries, or I was soliciting information about injuries. Let's take a look and see. We have Salvin Ahmed, the running back, Eli Apple, Taron Armstead, River Craycraft is actually on. Okay, so they didn't. They show up on the injury report. Eli Apple actually did participate. Who else is on here? We're talking about Tyler Croft. I'm not going to do that again because you smited me down when I mentioned him in the series we did earlier in the offseason.
Who?
Tyler Croft. And I was like, oh, Tyler Croft's in there. You're like, so I'm like, you're right. I mean, he was a Bill. I was just trying to give him his flowers.
I mean, he ain't even getting on the field, is he?
Depends on how their injury, because they got.
Yeah.
I don't know. Connor Williams is actually hurt. That's big. Jalen Waddle was a full participant today, but I don't think I heard whether or not he's cleared concussion protocol.
He's gonna play. He's gonna play.
I mean, I'm not worried about
they
it.
know
I just
they
haven't
need
heard.
him
I don't
for
want to
this
report
game.
anything erroneous, but
Yo, you heard here first from me.
They're first.
From me.
They're first.
Not over there.
Yeah.
From me. Your boy Waddle is playing.
I hope so. I got him on fantasy.
They know full well they need him for this game. They held him out of last week to get him ready for this game.
You know it.
They coming in trying to get this dub because they know they need it. End of story.
And the reason why you mentioned Tyler Croft and I didn't want to say anything was because Durham Smythe has got a hamstring, and the other tight end Julian Hill has an ankle. So Tyler Croft might actually see the field. I don't know. For the Bills, it looks a lot better. We have Ryan Bates didn't participate. Leonard Floyd, Micah Hyde, Saran Neal, and Jordan Poyer. These are, I mean, if you notice,
These all
most
look
of these
just
guys
like
are kind of older
rest
too. So
days.
yeah, they have to put something on there.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Taron Johnson with a hip, whatever.
Right. Right. He playing. Leonard Floyd, he playing.
He's fine. Let's see. Points scored. Miami has the nod, 43.3 a game. I mean, it wasn't helped much by their 70-point performance on Sunday.
It's water right there.
I got libations behind me, but I think we need to understand that 43.3, I don't care about it. Points allowed per game, 23.7. The Bills are allowing 30.3. I'm sorry, the Bills are scoring 30.3 and allowing 11.7. So we are actually second in both aspects of scoring. So our defense is second against the score, and our offense is second in scoring. Their Miami Dolphins are first in scoring, obviously with a 70-point performance. I'm going to keep saying that because that skews everything. And points allowed per game, 23.7. So they do allow points. So it is, as we'll get into, up for the taking. We can get some points. And I expect this full well to get some points there. Takeaway differential, we're a +4 versus their +2. So we're third in the league versus their ninth. Passing yards per game, Tua had 466 yards in the game, so they averaged 362 a game. And their first were 234, but we're 12th. Doesn't mean Josh couldn't do it. I don't want him to see that stat. Why don't I want to see Josh hit that stat? Because he's like, I got to boost that up.
Right, and the other thing we got to keep in mind too is their stats to this point now are so inflated from the game last week.
Exactly.
This is not a true indicator of the regular occurrences in their offense.
I don't want. I struggle to think whether I should read this or not, but I don't want people to think too hard. But this team is not unbeatable at all.
No, definitely not.
Not at all.
It really speaks to how bad of a franchise Denver is at this point in time.
You want to know how bad Denver's defense is? They missed 24 tackles on Sunday. They missed 24 tackles in one game. 24. But this is the thing. Don't be alarmed by that because the week before that, they played, Denver played, I don't even remember who they played. But they allowed, they played the Redskins, didn't they? And they allowed 11 missed tackles. Yeah, they played the Redskins. They allowed 11 missed tackles. So that's even high. They missed 8 tackles against Las Vegas. So that tells you they can't tackle. They're a horrible tackling team.
Right.
Did you see the side of the holes that A-Chain ran through? He was averaging 6.3 a carry before touched. 6.3 a carry. That's unheard of. James Cook is averaging 3.3. It was 3.7 last year. 3.1 for Devin Singletary last year. Wow. How did they do? They were fine.
Yeah.
6.7 is not going to happen on Sunday.
Nope.
And this is not me speaking of hyperboles. This is me talking to you as a true observer, a true analyst, a true fan. I have no Kool-Aid in front of me. As you see, clear water.
It's just water.
Just water. Nothing funny in here. I got to go to work. I'm telling you right now, guys, just get past the 70 points.
Yep.
Denver is just as bad as Chicago right now. They're just as bad.
Yep.
They're going to have a heck of a season. Russell Wilson, they left him in the whole game. Miami pulled their starters after the third quarter.
He's getting traded. I think I can safely say that. There's still a team that'll take him. I
wouldn't argue it, but who wants him?
He could easily. He's another guy that could go to Atlanta. Yeah,
they'll take anybody. They'll take anybody. They just signed Trevor Siemian, which I picked up on my fantasy squad because I was the last quarterback that might actually get a stat.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they got Trevor Siemian, and there's nothing wrong with Zach Wilson. That's how bad they are. So,
I mean, I just all I know is with how bad things have gotten there, Sean Payton ain't going nowhere. They brought him in to fix the problem. If he points at what's his face and says that dude is the problem, guess what? That dude is the problem. That's it. Yeah, ain't no argument with that. Hey, producer man, I need you to get me the charger for this laptop. It's up under the desk over there.
Only one who could ever teach me.
So
was a son of producer, man. Okay, go ahead.
With everything that we've seen now, give me your top 3 things that should be a concern for the Miami Dolphins on Sunday.
Should be a concern for Dolphins?
No, it should be a concern for the Bills.
For the Bills. Obviously, the speed. That's number one.
Okay.
You got to worry about the speed because we are a slow team. But I think that's going to be mitigated with the discipline that they have. They preach discipline. They preach, the what do you call it, eye discipline. I mean, that's going to be that's the breaking point because even Tyreek Hill, he said in his presser, he said, what was in the presser? It was an interview at his locker. He said that motion that they run allows him to get free release off the line. It allows him to get to full speed without getting touched. So, especially if Waddle's back, that tandem is something that we definitely need to really think about how we're going to defend it. They got to do something with that. As far as worries though, I don't worry about their defense. I'm not worried about one look at their defense. Their defensive ends are no shows. If you can contain Christian Wilkins, I don't know his first name, but and Van Ginkel, which is a defensive linebacker. Those are your only threats as a pass rush. Matter of fact, their best pass rush is a defensive back. They send their corners.
Right.
Now, having said that, I don't want to gloss over the performance of Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins because I don't want this to be the performance where they get lax and say, you know what, I can do this and they can't. So that'd be number 2. And the third thing that I'm worried about for the Bills going into this game is playing down or playing to the level of the Dolphins. They have to come out fast. They got to come out hungry, and that's something that they preach. McDermott said, start fast. That's their motto. We got to start fast. I think Stephon Diggs said it. Josh Allen said it. McDermott said it a couple of times. So Their motto in that building is start fast, and by doing so, you're going to force Tua to. You're going to force if you can force Tua to throw the ball to the outside past the numbers, you're going to win,
Right.
Because he doesn't have the arm strength for it.
Right.
And if our defense, if the middle of our defense, the six in the middle, which would be the two safeties, the two linebackers, and the two defensive tackles, do their job, the middle is shut down. There's nothing in the middle. Rousseau get those arms up because Tua's got the fastest release in the league. I think it's like 2.2 seconds for the season.
Yeah.
So it's not even close to anybody else. So for me, I'm not worried about sacks. I mean, you may get one, you may, or not. What I'm worried about is knocking the guys off their timing, and I'm worried about giving Tua a different look than what he's expecting. So a lot of simulated pressures.
Okay. All right.
I think that was 3. I don't
Yeah,
know. It might be
yeah, no,
5.
that was
I don't know
definitely
what
3.
was.
That was definitely 3. I think I agree with you. Speed for me is the first and foremost thing. From what we've seen on tape, the all of the motions and everything that they're doing is all to test the eye discipline that we talked about, that Sean talked about. It's all to, excuse me. And here's the other thing too, with the pre-snap motions, what that does for Tua is it forces the defense to choose between preparing for what's coming, because they know what side of the field this player is going to, and they want to make sure that they're in position to cover that guy. But if they do, they're going to show their hand in what they're going to move into once the ball snaps. So it kind of it gives Tua an opportunity to get cues from the defensive players as to what he's going to be seeing after the snap. Right, so it's a little bit of a cheat code, and this is why Mike McDaniel is so brilliant in the way that he's designed this adjustment to this offense. Not only does it take away the defense's ability to press their receivers or press all of them, I guess, because you can still press some of them, but it gives Tua another added cue to read before the snap, right? So this is what allows him to get the ball out as fast as he's been doing,
And
is
that's
because
exactly right. Yep.
it is because he's now getting additional information from the defense to be able to process everything a lot faster. And watching the tape, you were actually able to see Tua go through 3 reads. That's not something you typically saw him do. And I know, during the summer when we were starting to do this, we had somebody comment talking about we don't watch enough tape. Like, go watch the tape.
all of last year.
It speaks for itself.
Watch all of last year.
Whatever you think you're seeing during the game,
You're not
just
seeing
go.
that. Whatever you think you see, you're not.
Right. Anyway,
I'm sure he's not even watching this show because, well, actually, he might.
he might
Because it's the Dolphins. He might be coming back. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
get ready to hear how we about to smash y'all on Sunday.
Oh, snap.
But yeah, I think, and I teased this at the beginning of the show. I really think it's very simple. It's very simple what the Bills need to do in order to make this a just a blowout, right? You disrupt the passing lanes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you can disrupt the passing lanes, you disrupt the timing of that offense. The second Tua is out of timing and he's got to create after the play breaks down, he is not the same quarterback. We've seen that time and time again. As soon as they get him into that position where he's got to start making second and third movements after he gets into his the last step of his drop, his accuracy goes down, his playmaking ability goes down. He's not a throw on the run type of guy. He's shown now this year he'll be more decisive in running and trying to get yards. But I mean, let's be honest, he's not trying to do that against his defense.
Yeah, no, and this is a kick too. You got to remember he's only 6'1".
Right.
He's only 6'1". You're looking at that's the same height as our smallest defensive tackle, Ed Oliver. They're both 6'1". You got Daquan Jones, he's like 6'2", 6'3". You got 6'4".
Yep.
You got Jordan Phillips, who's my height, 6'6". You got Rousseau, who's 6'7".
Floyd is 6'5", 6'6".
Floyd 6'6", yeah. Floyd 6'6".
Yep.
So I mean, they're long, and our defensive ends are. And this is the beautiful part about Rousseau. Rousseau is. He's not like we said. He's not a pass rusher, and this is the game where his skill set is going to come. It's going to show up in droves. It better get the hands up.
That's right.
And set the edge. That's what he does.
That's it.
Now I know sidebar. I know I joked about Kingsley Jonathan, but I'm not even going to try this. Tua Niga Manua
You done
Leopola.
already messed up.
Yeah.
You done already messed up.
Tua Niga Manua Leopola. No, they call him Donnie.
Manuopola.
See?
Manuolepola.
Yeah, you tried it. You didn't even start from the beginning. His middle name is Donnie, though. Why don't he? Why?
Donnie?
Donnie.
What? Yo. Why
would
did
you
he
do
just
that?
go with Donnie? Who decided Tua was the way?
But the funny thing is, his brother is Tua too. You know that, right?
What?
Yeah, this is his brother here, Tua Leah. He plays for
Is that his
Maryland.
whole name, or is it
Well, let's
Tua
look.
Leah
Probably
Sapaboso and whatever?
No, it is Tua Leah Tagovailoa.
Why did he win the lottery of
he's younger.
Polynesian names?
And he's younger.
How did he win that
They
lottery?
used all the letters on his older brother. They had none left.
That's cold. That's cold. Tua got the short stick. He got the short
I
straw.
gotta be Tua Leah.
Wow.
I want that.
Right, exactly.
They smushed all that together. Said, "This is your name here, sir.
Tua Leah came out the womb and was like, "Don't you do me
Don't
like
you
that.
do it. I
Don't
ain't
you
never
do
gonna be able
me
to spell
like
all that." Chakumaka, that's different. See,
Right.
Chakumaka, now that makes, see how fast I said it there?
Yep. Just get it
Because
all
when you
out.
see
It's nice and easy
Tua
when
Nia
you-
Manoa Pola, I don't, no, forget it.
just never mind.
Yeah,
Just
forget
just
that.
forgive me
I'm
even
glad he doesn't
tried.
play for our team.
What?
I'm glad he doesn't play for our team.
Right.
Because I would have to say it by a rule.
But yeah, so those are those getting in the passing lanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna get technical, I'm gonna venture to say there's a pretty good chance we see a lot of cover 3 in this game, because a lot of the route concepts that they run are built to spread out the defense and open up the middle, right? But when you talk about what the Bills have now in Terrell Bernard and pre-existing Matt Milano, they're gonna have the middle of the field covered. This game, you're gonna be looking at them going at our corners.
Right.
They're gonna be going at our underneath coverage. In terms of flats, you're gonna see screens like crazy, right? And I do think a lot of their game plan is going to be those speed rushes to the outside, because they're going to count on the lack of speed on our defense not being able to get to the edge to stop them, right? But there's something very key that I saw in the game tape with the Dolphins and the Patriots.
Come on now.
And
I like it.
What the Patriots were able to do to slow that down and to mitigate the impact of the motion was they ran sort of a modified wide 9 with their odd front. So they put their 3 tackles in the A and the B gaps. Like they covered just they lined up over the guard and the centers, right?
So yeah,
And then
yep.
and then they lined up Judon really wide out, like far outside the tackle. Same for the other for the other outside linebacker, outside the tackle, far out wide, right? Now what that did for them is that allowed those linebackers who had more speed to be in position for those flat plays or those screen plays. They had a guy who can jump out and set the edge on those speed rushes. And if you watch that game, yeah, they won 24-17, but those speed rushes were not the reason they won that game.
Right.
The reason they won that game is because the inside linebackers couldn't cover the middle, and the speed of the receivers and busted coverages got taken advantage of. That's why the Patriots weren't able to stop them, right? So when you're talking about what the Bills can do in terms of, they can run that wide 9 set, or they already play nickel. Taron Johnson is great against the run, right? So all you really need to do is modify your nickel a little bit, widen your defensive line, and I mean, you got that covered. Now here's what I really think the Dolphins are going to try to go for. Technically, the Bills are weaker when you run up the middle on them, right? That's just the bottom line. We've seen that with every single team that plays against us. They want to run up the gut.
And the funny thing is, this is the first team we played against that doesn't use the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when I'm looking at all this stuff, I'm saying to myself, man, a lot of what they do and a lot of what the Dolphins do offensively and a lot of what the Bills do defensively, they kind of cancel out. Like if you really look at, if you go and watch the tape, a lot of it is going to cancel out. So it really boils down to mental breakdowns on which side. which player is going to blink, which side of the ball is going to blink first. That's really what it boils down to. And if the Bills are on their game like they've been on their game the last 2 weeks, this is the toughest test the Dolphins will have ever faced to this point. Like,
I think for both teams, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, agreed. So I'm looking at this game and I'm saying to myself, man, this really has an opportunity to get away from the Dolphins really quick if they don't learn how to deal with the Bills getting into their passing lanes, some of the coverages that they're going to see, because a lot of what they do, cover 3 eats up a lot of that, right? They're not trying to throw the nines, right? But when you're talking about the way that they spread the defense out, they have a lot of these sort of like they're like flare routes, but they're like 5, 6, 7 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and then they might have a tight end or a fullback or something like that runs that flat underneath just at the line of scrimmage, and then they might have one receiver that runs a 9 or something like that and just kind of opens up space for another in-cutting route on the side, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's when you look at it, it looks like they're purposely trying to go after the deep middle of the field, which some of the easiest throws for Tua. To be honest, he's not the kind of guy that is great at throwing to the sidelines.
No.
So
is that arm strength?
Exactly. So if I'm looking at that, I'm saying to myself, okay, well those underneath routes, if you're playing a cover 3 and they're not trying to take the top off, you don't need to dedicate 2 safeties to taking away the deep ball. You just need the one.
What they're going to do is in the beginning of the game, they're going to try to get you to cower into the cover 2 shell.
Exactly.
That's what they're going to try to do. If they can do that, they beat you.
Yep.
And I actually, while you were talking, I noticed I had a couple of stats on the O-line. Their right tackle is responsible for 47% of pressure doing the Tua. Left tackle is not Terran Armstead because he played 1 game. Wow. This is for 40%. So that's another 13% for the rest of the offensive line spread out. Connor Williams is a converted guard who is hurt. Let's see. And Connor Williams is also the 3rd-rated center in the league. Their offensive line is ranked 6, but that's skewed by the performance they had last week. But they're second in the league right now on blocking efficiency. So yeah, I think the number one is to dominate the trenches. As I always say every week, dominate the trenches. Because this offensive line is nowhere near as good as they're projected. I just don't think they're that. I honestly, outside of their skill position, I don't think they're that good of a team. I really don't.
They just have a whole heck of a lot of speed that creates issues for how defenses nowadays. All the good ones are slow. Mm-hmm. All the good ones are slow. There are no more good fast defenses, right? So the fact that this iteration of the Dolphins exists is kind of like taking advantage or kind of seeing a hole in a business model and capitalizing on it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I gotta do is just have faster players than what people can cover or stay with, and I'll win with a quarterback that everybody thought was trash and was going nowhere and was going to get bounced out of the league. I mean, again, this really speaks to the genius of Mike McDaniel. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the other thing too that I need people to keep in mind going into this game is Josh Allen is a fish killer. Mm-hmm. Every single time this man has played the Dolphins, as a matter of fact, he's only lost to the Dolphins twice. I got it. In the last.
Yeah, I got it right. Let's see.
What's his record against them?
Against the Dolphins?
See if I remember correctly. Yeah, all time versus
He
Miami.
lost to the Charles Clay game, and I think that's it.
They lost last year in the Heat.
Well, yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
So
Charles
2 games,
Clay game and that.
So he's what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's 9-2 against them.
9-2.
9-2. Like, come on, that speaks for itself,
mm-hmm.
right? So I'm not worried about Josh being able to play against that defense.
But I was gonna say this is Josh Allen versus Vic Fangio. He beat him twice.
Right. That was the other thing I was gonna bring up. Every single time that Josh has played against Vic Fangio's defenses, he's tore him up. Mm-hmm. Right.
359. Yeah, 359 in 20. Was this 2019?
Oh, that was the big one. 48 to 19.
Yeah, 2020. So COVID year, yeah, he went there, took what he wanted.
Right.
And in his other game, he actually completed 60% of his passes, 185, 2 touchdowns, sacked once, one interception, and he won. Obviously he won that game as well. So 23
with a QBR
win,
at 92.9. So
yeah, so that's not bad. That's really good.
yeah.
20-3 in Buffalo in 2019, and 48-19 drubbing in 2020 in Denver.
Right.
No fans, but we saw it on TV. It happened.
Yep. So, what we're going into on Sunday is it's not something that we've never seen. The only difference to any of this is the motion. It's still the same offensive scheme. It's just a new wrinkle that got added on that everybody is raving about because you can't press their receivers. But really, when you think about it, as long as you don't tip your hand when you're seeing the motion, and you've got enough tape to understand, where they're trying to get the ball to on all of these plays.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't be hard. They do a lot of the same formations just with different players at different positions. A lot of those shotgun sweeps that they do, they might put Tyreek Hill back there, and he might run a flare route from that formation, or they might have they have this like it's a 12 formation.
They do love their fullback.
Yeah, and they'll have their fullback lined up as a tight end right outside the left tackle there, and they'll let him run a little flare out or something like that. I mean, obviously he's a decoy at that point; he's not catching no balls, but they do throw. They do throw. Maybe it's the way I say balls.
It might be.
Maybe that's what it is.
I think he wants you to say pause, but I mean, we too old. In the words of Tony Baker, no pause, press play.
Thank you. Anyway,
we're gonna change the culture. I hate that pause thing. I really do hate that pause thing.
Yeah. Well,
And this is honestly, I had one more key to the game.
Yeah.
Tackling. Let's go with that.
Man, big time.
Let's go. I mean, while you're talking, I'm just scrolling. I wasn't ignoring. I wasn't being rude, but I was just trying to set up the point.
I'm already knowing, bro. I know you got it.
When we played, who we played at week 2, that was the Raiders. We missed 2 tackles. When we played, if my mouse will stop doing wacky things, where are you? Missed tackles. There we go. We missed 10 tackles against Washington, and then we missed 11 versus the Jets. So we got to clean that up. Matt Milano's already he's already not going the right way. He's not going the right way. I mean, he's averaging 15% of his 15% missed tackle rate. So that's got to be cleaned up.
He's got to already be ahead of that now.
Well, it's still early. He's at 21% for this season, but he's only got 15 tackles.
Yeah.
But he's 2017 was his best. No, 2020 was his best year with 5 missed tackles. 2017 with 8, and the rest of them double-digit missed tackles. So we got to clean that up. Clean it up. Yeah. So what we noticed, and I spoke of A-Chain especially, but Mostert, their speed. You got to get a hat on a hat. You cannot leave gaps unattended to.
Yep.
So that's going to be something that I want to definitely stress: tackling. Tackle, because they're going to be in position, but they got to finish.
Right. I mean, that's, again, going into this game last week, and even, I think after week 1, everybody was looking at this game like, we could be 0-2 in the division. We could be sitting at 2-2 and looking at the rest of the season thinking, what are we going to do? Right. And then everything else that happens in the NFL happens in the NFL. You got the Bengals dealing with what they're dealing with. I mean, they're what, 1-2 right now,
right?
And I think they, really truthfully, the defense played a hell of a game that game just to shut down the Rams, whose offense has been pretty great this year, compared to what people expected them to be, and. You also look at what's going on with, the Patriots being a better team, right? But then you look at the Chiefs, and they're strengths kind of flip-flop. Now their defense is carrying them through games, and they really don't have any receivers that have stepped up for that offense. So you look at, okay, well, if we can double Kelsey, who else is gonna beat us now, right?
Right.
So, a lot of these teams that you thought were gonna be in your way, even the Ravens don't look like their offense is fully gelled and come together and become much of a threat. Now, granted, you don't play a lot of these teams until later on in the season. I think we got Jacksonville, next week?
Jacksonville next week.
So, and even with them, like, what the heck is going on with Jacksonville right now? They're 1-2. So, I think you're in a spot now where you beat Miami this week, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but you beat Miami this week, and you take care of a Jacksonville team that's still trying to figure themselves out. You're top dog in the AFC, right? I mean, well, no, the Bills lost to an AFC team, so technically the Chiefs would be in first place still because we have the same we have the same record.
If they win, If they win.
If they win, yeah. I don't know what the Chiefs' upcoming record is, but I mean, I could easily sit here and say if we were to play the Chiefs right now, we would beat that team.
Yeah, they're
based
2-1.
Yeah, based on the way that we've played. And based on the weaknesses of that offense right now, I could see us definitely winning that game. So, going into this season, this wasn't a Bills team that we thought to look at and say, man, they could potentially be in that number 1 seed by the end of the season. But with everything turning out the way that it is now, can you help but see that? Like, am I really wrong for thinking like this team could be the number 1 seed in a year where they're not even trying to go for it?
Right.
Like the last 2 years, it was, we need the number 1 seed. We need that home AFC championship game so that we can have the Chiefs here because we tired of going over there.
Yeah, they're never coming to Buffalo. I don't know.
I don't know what that's about. That may still be the case.
It's got to be some kind of loophole. It's not even about the number 1. They just never come to Buffalo.
Right.
It's just never going to happen. They can't get here.
Right. And the 2 times that they did, they're 1-1 here.
Yeah, my son got a Kansas City Chiefs hat. I don't know why he wanted the Chiefs hat.
How do you not smack that thing off his head so fast?
I mean, I bought it because
I bought
it. It was red. It was red.
Whoa!
Hey.
Producer had to jump in on that. Like, why would you do that?
Hey,
I'm just telling you right now. I don't care what Raylan says. I don't care what Junie says. There is no way that there is any other hat other than this one coming up in my house.
Or Yankee.
You a strong dude.
Gotta have a Yankee.
Huh?
Gotta have a Yankee.
If it's a Yankee hat.
Do it for the culture.
If it's a Yankee hat, like I'll take a Knicks or a Warriors hat. I'm fine with either. But man, I mean,
do I have a basketball hat? I do have a Knicks jersey. I got this dope
leather Warriors hat, man. That thing is
leather hat.
Oh yeah, it's
man,
old school.
Got to be spicy under there.
Old school. Man, I can't wear that thing in the summertime.
No, I wouldn't do it.
That's sweating all day long.
Yeah,
on
I
that
wouldn't
one.
do it. Cradle cap.
Cradle cap.
What?
I got all kind of skin peeling and falling out of the headband part.
You brushing?
I'm styling, though, baby. I'm styling.
I'm trying to get these waves in.
Yeah. Oh man.
There's skin in there, but yeah.
Hair just falling out with
right,
the brush.
Yeah. I mean, it hurt. It cut me deep when Ken said, I like that team, the red team, but then I realized, red was his favorite color. So, fair trade off. He was little. I don't care. As long as the Bills are winning, I don't care.
Listen, I would have just got him a red Bills hat, man. Let me talk to you, son. Son, sit down. Let me talk to you, son. Listen. I understand your favorite color is red. I get it.
That's how you talk to him like that in that
you
voice?
Like yellow?
In that voice?
You like yellow? That's cool. That's really cool. Listen, we can get you a basketball hat with them colors on it. It don't have to be a football hat. We can get you a basketball hat with them colors, right? Let's go shopping for a basketball hat. What do you say? You like the Miami Heat? You like the Miami? We get you a Miami Heat hat. We could do that. We get you a Miami Heat hat.
Miami Heat.
Yeah. But listen, let me tell you something.
The Miami Heat,
son. No. Look at me, son. Look at me, son. Let me tell you something. If you ever in your life again think about some Kansas City Chiefs up at my house, I'm putting you down.
Gonna put him down.
I'm putting you down. You're gonna be in the basement. You're gonna be in the basement.
He's a little policeman.
In the basement.
I don't have a basement.
It's getting kind of dark now. You're gonna be in the basement.
Yeah.
I'll let you out when you're college age, but you're gonna be in the basement.
You put him in a room with Bean and Overdorf.
No. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put him in the basement with the little tube TV with the old turning knobs. Like
That's funny because my mom has that in her basement. He's like, whatever, let's do it.
See,
all he want to do is hook the Nintendo up anyway.
Right,
dude.
I'm gonna set him up like the Saw game.
This man knows about the Sega Master System.
What?
Yeah, that's how bad it is. He said that I saw the Sega Master System in Grandma's basement. I said, nicely done. I ain't seen
But
that thing.
did he play it though? That's
no.
The
You
key
know why
thing.
you can't?
Why?
Because the cord comes with those prongs that you got. Remember back in the day, you had to unscrew the screw in the back of the TV, put the prongs in the screw.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say I'm not because I thought you were about to do me dirty. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what there's.
You start
TV
talking
around
tech
in the
stuff.
world.
I'm there. I'm
yeah,
all right.
you know, but yeah, so it had that, and then the Nintendo he wants to hook up. He thinks the emulator I bought him is not the right. He thinks it's a bootleg. He says it's a bootleg game, even though it's the exact same Mario as was on the Nintendo, the console. But now he wants the console. He said he needs to play all the consoles because I had to explain what a ColecoVision is, Atari. I've had to explain to him what Pong
I'm gonna set
is.
you up with something real nice.
What you got?
I'm gonna set you up with something real nice. Let me see if I can find a website because I got mine off of eBay, right? But if you go to eBay, there are consoles that are like combinations of like 4 or 5 different systems.
Oh, I know. I got one.
Oh, that's
what he thinks is bootleg. Because
for real,
dude, he knows. I have a Nintendo, the console in my mom's house. He's like, that's a Nintendo. I have an emulator. It's a Pandora box.
Okay,
and it has like PlayStation, it has Tekken, Mortal Kombat, like 3,000 games on it.
Yeah,
and he plays it relentlessly. Sonic plays them all relentlessly, but he knows. Because of YouTube or something else, these fake things that, they make up on YouTube, he gets confused. He's like, "Oh, that's got to be the real. That's what I want to play right there." I'm like, "Dude, that's not how Mario was in '86. Well, how was it in '85, Dad?" Nintendo was American.
Another fix to that. Another fix you could do is you could just completely remove him from consoles and just get an emulator for his tablet.
I don't think that would work. I think he wants that console.
He likes the console feel.
He needs that. He needs the console. It's like he thinks
you've now ingrained in him the old school feel where he gotta have something in his hands. He gotta feel the sticks.
I didn't even do it. And the thing is, the emulator I got him has 2 little Nintendo controllers.
Yeah, it comes with them.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, it's not enough.
Wow,
no, it's not enough. No. He knows. Wow. He knows. He's like, no.
Just like his daddy.
Yeah. He's like, He's like, what a cart. He came out of the Dad. Mario 3. Look at it. Had the cartridge in his hand. I said, but we got that at the house. It ain't this one though. I said, you never played it. The Nintendo probably don't even work. How we get on this? But anyway, the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, we had the hat.
It's Keyshawn Light. It's Keyshawn Light.
But what's funny? What's funny though? Did you notice on the Miami Denver game? They were like, this must be payback.
Oh yeah. He was trying hard, and it was payback. Like for real.
Oh no, not that payback. For what happened in the NBA Finals. He said, I bet the Heat won't do this to the Nuggets. That's what he said. I promise you on the broadcast, he said that. Promise you. He said,
who said that?
I don't know who the commentator was, but one of the commentators on the national broadcast said that. When it was 70 to 20, and it was still going on.
He said, I bet you the Heat won't do this to the.
Yeah, one of the guys said, this is an NBA score, a basketball score. He said, yeah.
Wow.
But the Heat won't do that to the Nuggets, though. I was like,
wow.
I was like, dang, kick a man while he's down.
I didn't think cities was like so deep with it where like if we can't get you in the NBA, we gonna come at y'all in the NFL. We can't get y'all in a whole different league.
We can't get you there. Highlight it is.
Like it ain't even like the Nuggets blew out the Miami Heat. Wait, did they sweep them?
No, gentlemen sweep. They won one.
Right. Okay. Well, you want. So, I guess 70 to 20 ain't.
That's a drubbing. That's a modified girls' high school basketball game.
Yeah.
When Shanika Holtzclaw played.
That's dancing at midfield on your stuff, man. Like that's
yeah. I'm not going to talk about it. But I think Mike McDaniels and Sean Payton need to get to play a game of backgammon.
What the heck is backgammon?
Hey, Mom, I got another one. He's coming over. Mom.
Oh man, why you got me tied up in all that?
Backgammon? He did this to T. She's done this to me. She had Ken playing backgammon. Ken don't even know what he's doing. She was playing for him. She let him roll the dice. She was playing for him against herself. Backgammon is real.
I believe it. I believe it.
No, I know you know, but I mean, in my house coming up,
I don't know what it is. I've never seen it.
my mom used to make me play Scrabble with her when I was like
Scrabble
7.
is cool. I'm good at Scrabble.
My mom's a teacher. When I was 7, she'd be
mean-
like, "Yo, I'm gonna let you get 250 points and then roast me." I will never touch a Scrabble board again in life.
I don't feel bad.
And they called me the word man. They don't know word woman. My mama.
Right. She did right.
And she got the dictionary is wrapped up in duct tape because it's so
Are
old.
you not a walking thesaurus now?
I am.
Right.
But not to her degree. Her dictionary that she bought for Scrabble, specifically for Scrabble.
Okay.
It's from like 1970 something. It's wrapped in duct tape.
Oh, wait.
Because
Because it kept getting ripped up, or
No, because it's old. The binding started,
Yeah.
so she
Oh,
wanted to keep
okay,
it together.
okay,
So
okay.
it's literally a gray book.
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna have to take a picture when I go over there. Ma,
Yeah, I wanna see that.
Get the Scrabble dictionary out so I can show him what it looks like because it's gonna be crazy.
She not gonna see this until tomorrow. She's not gonna see.
I'm
this.
not gonna see her till Saturday. Still got time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got
Yeah,
time.
hey.
Right. Oh, you was thinking ahead.
See?
You was thinking ahead. You got me.
We in the future. But getting back to the game.
Let's get back to the game.
What do you think? What are your key takeaways? What do you think are the keys to victory? You have any?
Well, offensively, the defensive line is weaker at the end positions. Their pass rushers are more so pure pass rushers than set the edge guys. So I think you can get to their edges, right? Their linebacker play, it's just about as suspect as it was last year. I don't respect their linebackers. I think this is one of those games where if you want to hear what Josh Allen said about Kincaid in that press conference, this is one of those games where he can light up the scoreboard if you really want it to be that way.
Yeah, he did say that.
So I think offensively you got to run the ball. You get Cook to the outside, make them pay for not putting guys on the edge that can set the edge, and make them pay in the pass game for putting those linebackers on the field.
And Jalen Phillips may not even play.
Yeah. I mean, all these injury designations, unless is it serious with Phillips?
Yeah, they say he might not play, and that's
Wow.
from Miami media.
I mean, if he don't play, they not getting no pass rush.
Van Ginkel, that's all he can do. That linebacker, that's all he can do is pass rush. He's giving you nothing in coverage. He's not giving you anything anywhere else. Run stopping.
Right. And they're without Ramsey on that team,
Right.
they're not gonna play man. They're not gonna play a lot of man. They're just not, right? So now you're talking about Diggs finding his spots in the zone. Now you're talking about Kincaid being able to find his spots in the zone. Now you're talking about being able to put Cook against their linebackers in the pass game. I mean, these are all things that that we've seen done now over the last 2 weeks with the Bills, and it's worked perfectly. And it hasn't even been deep bombs or anything like that. But essentially, even though this defense he's got some good blitz packages.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some really good blitz packages that I've seen, right? And even with that, Josh's numbers against the blitz are top 5 in the league, if not top 3, right? So I'm just not worried about this game. I think the only thing that's going to beat the Bills in this game is Josh getting too hyped up for the moment. That to me that's my only key to the game. Like if Josh can just stay calm and take what he's given in the same way that he's done the last 2 weeks, their defense doesn't stop our offense. Now, defensively, I think I've kind of laid out how the Bills can maximize the individual matchups, but if I'm looking at specific matchups, man, Floyd and Rousseau got to go nuts, man.
Mm-hmm.
Floyd and Rousseau got to be the guy. That the way that defensive line can really win, because you're not going to get enough push up the middle to get to Tua in time, right? But with a lot of his throws, you know, a lot of the quick stuff is outside in the flats or outside 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Right. So those are the throws that Russo and Floyd got to get in front of. You do that, you disrupt the passing lanes. This game is going to be over quick. It's going to be over quick.
Yeah, I mean, you really just got to limit. You have to limit the yardage. Really, that's what they want.
Yeah, tackling is going to be another tough one. Yeah, I think that's probably my biggest worry. I did see some of that in some of the games that I was able to see. I studied more so the Patriots game to see how they were able to keep this team to just 24 points, and for really most of the game, make it hard for the Dolphins to move the ball every single series. You know what I'm saying?
It can be done.
Right, exactly, and they don't have what we have on defense. They, I think they had corners hurting that game too. So they weren't even at full strength. Bills are coming in here defensively at full strength, so we should be able to handle this team perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So, we ready to see a blowout, man? You trying to play it safe? You trying to play it safe? I'll go a little crazy. This is one of those times where it's kind of weird for me because I'm usually the guy to take a step back and say, like, yo, I need to temper the expectations of this. But, with all the hype that's surrounding the Dolphins and everything that I've seen on tape now and everything that I've seen us be able to do, I just, like, there's nothing in me that looks at this and is nervous outside of a missed tackle on an 80-yard run. You know what I'm saying? It really, for me, just comes down to the mental mistakes because there are no drastic, disparities between their ability to do something and our ability to stop it, or our ability to do something and their ability to stop it. Like for the Jets, it was, we can run against that team because they're weak against the run, but we can't pass against them. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't. We don't have enough receivers or enough weapons fully developed to do that.
I just looked here. I was looking at Pro Football Focus, how they ranked the Broncos game. You notice anything interesting? Look at this. They gave them a 95 in runs, but a 50 on the run blocking.
Right.
So that tells you right there. They have no run game. Yeah. Denver just gave them the runs.
Yeah.
They gave them whatever they wanted. They can't protect, but they made them look really good.
Yep. Because
against New England, I'm just gonna go to Pro Football. As I always do, at least once or twice a show. 68.9 against the Chargers for the run, 59.7 against for the run blocking. It matches average running and just below average blocking. 76.3 grade for the run, 61.4% grade for the run block. So you're a good running game, average run blocking. So like I said in the beginning of the show, Denver was fun to watch. It was fun to hear about, but it's not reality. It's just not. The Bills are not capable of playing this bad.
Right. There's no way. There's no way. I also, real quick, I also think this is a game that the Bills can just run out. The Bills can run this game out. I think if they get a lead, even if it's a touchdown lead, they just shorten the game. Shorten the game.
Yeah.
Why keep giving them chances? Even if they even if it's you run first down, run second down, and just let the clock, because they're not going to stop us in the pass game. They're not. They don't have the horses to keep up with us in the pass game. And Holland is a great safety. But the only reason that he was effective against the Bills is because Josh was trying to throw deep all the time.
Right.
With the way that this team has played the past 2 weeks, I don't see another team except maybe the Chiefs, because they got a lot of good speed on defense, and the ability of Chris Jones to penetrate is a major problem, right? But again, even with that said, I don't see a team in the league right now that can stop what we're doing on offense.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I mean, it's lofty. So your prediction and score?
I'm almost willing to put some wings on this, but man,
I'm hungry.
This is probably one of the most honest episodes we've ever had since we started the show. Like, you wiping saliva and stuff. Look at it.
You said wings. I'm thinking about the sauce that we talked about, the envelope with the whatever dressing of your choices.
Yeah,
this is a lovely affair.
Go get you some wings after this, man.
Yeah.
I'm saying we have another 38-point game. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 38-21 Bills.
I don't want to say mine then. Okay. I don't want to say mine. I was going to say 31-28 Bills.
Oh, you got a close one.
I got a close one. I got a higher scoring game. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. I mean, hey, we'll see what happens on Sunday.
I'll take yours. Don't get me wrong. I'll take it.
Yeah. I think, happily we've been wrong the last 2 weeks. They've been blowout games. I'd gladly be wrong in that sense. From that standpoint. As long as we see a W go in the right column, man, I'm with it. So
that Jameis Winston.
You got to look at the camera because he was looking like this. That's the other thing about that too. Like exactly, he was looking grown men in the eye while he was swallowing his own fingers.
Get that taste that W.
Can you imagine what the other guys is thinking in their mind? Like, bro, get away from me with all that fingers in your mouth stuff.
Like,
bro.
we gotta protect this dude.
Like
he gone. He already gone.
I saw what you was doing with that hand right before we got over here. Like,
right. Wow. Scratched your butt. Now you got your hands in my. I'm okay. Right. No thanks. No thanks. Right.
Oh my gosh.
But by the same token, you got not Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, in his pregame speeches. I take a nap every time he talks. Every time.
Time for nostalgia. Let me tell you something. If you like what you heard and you want to hear more or you want to get more content, you can check us on Spotify. We got polls, we got questions that we do with every episode. If you want, if you're that type of person where you're just intrigued by little nuggets and little bits of information that you might not find everywhere, man, take it on over to the Facebook page, man. Key is doing an amazing job with posting content there. It's a page, it's not a group, so you might not be able to, post stuff, but I think they can post stuff in comments.
They can respond.
Yeah, so they can, whatever links and stuff that you guys have, you can post that stuff in comments to, whatever, and that'll be a way for people to kind of, get their voice out there and be heard on the page.
And you can find me if you want to talk to me directly. You can find me, friend me, whatever, Instagram and X.
On the X, the handle is
HAMM84 K716.
Yeah,
I got it right.
Track him down.
I ain't even pulled my phone out. This is good.
Yeah,
this is good. X me up.
Yeah, I might have to look into how I can get back on X.
You got to you don't want to get back on X,
like the social media.
Yeah, but say getting you off the X was kind of tough.
It was tough. It was very tough. Yeah, I will admit that.
I'm proud of you though.
Yeah, so am I. So am I. Back to regular old life. Anyway, man, again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this time with us. Thank you for coming to a place where, you're gonna get the truth. You're gonna get real research. You're gonna get, real open honesty with what we think and what we're talking about in terms of the perceptions of the game, perceptions of players and all that. We're not sugarcoating nothing. We don't work for the Bills, so you ain't got to worry about rose-colored glasses and nothing in that fashion. We want everybody to be held accountable, including ourselves.
And for you guys out there to say we're negative, this whole show was mad positive.
Exactly.
Mad
we said
positive.
Not one negative thing about the Bills in this whole episode.
Nope.
So I don't want to hear nothing
but
about
I will say something negative about
the Bills show and all this other stuff.
I'll say something negative about the Bills media squad all day long, but not the Bills.
Man, tell me about it. I mean, even the team's getting tired of the Bills media.
Yeah, I think McDermott would join me on that one. Josh, too. We stand united. We're going to fix this. Something must be done. Something must be done.
Oh, man. It's going to be a whole legion of people teaming up behind you to get rid of this media.
That's why you can't hear them on the radio. That's why you can't hear their questions. You notice that? You can't hear their questions. That's probably why they turn their mics off.
I don't even listen to it. I wait till the next day when they boost up the audio on the joint so I can hear how ridiculous these people sound. But anyway, let me tell you something. Go and subscribe Go and
Yeah.
subscribe. Listen.
Yeah, we
do
doing
it now because everybody and you know we were kind of talking about this. I think we should go ahead with it. I don't maybe we can discuss it after the game, but after the show. But we've been looking at starting a Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you with it, I'm with it. But here's the deal. The Facebook group is going to be a little bit different than the Facebook page. Now, the Facebook group is going to be designed more for you, specifically for you. Whatever nuggets, whatever, clips, whatever video and stuff like that that you want to post. Listen, that's going to be the hot spot for full interaction with Bills Nation.
Yep.
Okay? Bills Nation.
Bills
We
Nation.
started a whole nother movement over here. Bills Nation, right? Mafia, they too hot right now.
They starting to merge. Though.
NFL police looking at them, the fan police, they looking at the Mafia. They might get Rico'd up in this joint, right?
They might.
So we left the Mafia, right? Bills Nation, okay? You will get access to this private Facebook group when you subscribe. And if you've already been a subscriber, you will get the link sent directly to you. Don't worry. Don't call us. We'll call you. We'll make sure you get that, okay? Our goal is to provide an entire world of content for you to go to on whatever platform that you want to do it on and however you want to consume it, okay? Now, the best thing you can do, and this is probably the longest close ever, best thing you can do is comment. You can direct message us.
Yeah.
You can however you feel necessary to get a hold of us and give us what you want to see. Give us what you want to hear. Give us what you want talked about, right? All of that stuff is going to make its way onto one of the platforms or one of the shows that we do in some way, shape, or form, okay? So if we don't get it on here, it might be on the page. If it's not on the page, it might be in the group. If it's not in the group, it might be on Spotify somewhere as a question.
I'll find it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really what we're about, okay? Thank you to all the people that have subscribed and like the Facebook page already. Keep that going strong. Keep passing the word on. If you know people that love Buffalo sports and they want to listen to Buffalo Bills talk, direct them here. You already know what time it is. You know how we get down. You know we're gonna keep it real 100%. With that said, you got anything else?
Hey man, you said it all.
Man, let's get to this game, baby.
Hey,
I'm ready. If you ready, man, let's go. All right. For the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes, I have been your co-host, Aramis.
and this is Key.
And we are out.